recorded my message this week, so let me talk about Passover for a second, since before we start, because it's very important for us to understand. Judaism, there is a difference between what the Torah says and what Jews do. Because and it shouldn't be. Like, for example, when you talk about Passover, first thing that people talk about is, we don't eat this, or we eat that. And in Judaism, that's very often, is usually the religion that doesn't eat something. It's really not, we used to be the people that used to do something to become the people that disagree with that or don't eat this. And this is where Judaism is standing today. So when you talk about Passover, I never had anyone said, which kind of important insight I can get from Passover. They ask, can I eat peanuts? That's what is important for them. And in reality, this religion is not going to last like that. It will be absolutely impossible for this religion to last another 50 years if the main concerns about our religion are as deep as what we don't eat. Passover comes. What I see is that, like, when you live here in Miami, you go to the grocery store, they have cornflakes kosher for Passover, and they have a cake kosher for Passover, and they have donuts and bagels, whatever you want kosher for Passover. And people spend hundreds of dollars for a holiday that takes a week to buy food that tastes like styrofoam, which they absolutely are going to throw out in 1 week. I mean, because who's going to eat this garbage in 8 days? And once again, we're missing the point here. What is the point of Passover? If you need to use a word to describe Passover, which word would you use? You see, I look at him.
No, yeah, because I have my thoughts about that. We are in Passover. Really, we are looking for, and the central story is about the liberation of a group of people.
Don't go any further because
I have something on that one that I never read it and I don't see it anywhere written. Is that everything is written about the liberation of the Jews from Egypt, slavery. Well, I'm not looking at it like that. I'm looking at it more on the spiritual level about the liberation of the inner selves from vices, from things, materialism, that's something that is holding us back from really realizing ourselves from the inside into the outside.
That's good. That's good. That's good. I'll talk about materialism because I'm probably a person who knows a little about materialism, and I'll tell you that materialism is not that evil. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. What happens is this is a very good point. What happens is that when Passover comes, we spend this fortune buying things that we're not going to eat, that we really do not need, just because we have this pharaoh inside of us that needs to eat. And so 1 week without donuts is going to be absolutely impossible. So why not eat the donuts? But the intention of Passover is exactly what Julio said, is redemption. And the only way you can bring redemption in this world is by doing right. And in my opinion, what I do every Passover, instead of spending $200 in all those things that I would need anyway, nobody in my house would eat it. I take this money and give to charity. So then I do what the intention of Passover, I bring redemption. I further things that I believe in. We're going to talk about later on what each one of those Jewish values mean. And the intention of Passover is to bring redemption. And the story of Passover, as Julio was describing, is a very pragmatic story. We have an Egypt, which means it's something that we want to leave behind. It might be an addiction, it might be a relationship, it might be the wrong kind of materialism, it might be destructive materialism, because what happens is that we have this Egypt, we have something that we want to leave behind. We have our desert is the process that we need to cross. Like, when every time I write a book is exactly this, is that I have something in my life that I'm not happy about it. Like I wanted to learn how to manage my finances when I finish a rabbinical school, and then I interview congregants that seem to have money and told me, what should I do? How can I retrace your path so I can get where you got? Or when I gain 100 pounds, I wanted to lose. So you have that pathway that is the desert. And most of the people, they don't get lost in the desert. They go back to Egypt. They start going in the desert, they find a bump on the way, it's too hot, the food is not like was in Egypt, or they go back to Egypt because that's what they used to. So their life stays there. But if you really want to find your promised land, you need to be ready to cross this desert. And that's what Passover is all about. Passover is about you being able to reestablish your goals and finding your path. And then you can go to your promised land.